proud to broadcast high school athletics
online
from Portland's West Side.
We are West Side Mobile Media,
Banks, Oregon.
Banks Braves High School Athletics on West Side Mobile Media, presented by Jason Bond Remodeling. Also brought to you by these fine sponsors: Jim's Market, Sarah Hesselman Keller Williams Realty, Wana Credit Union, Banks Post Newspaper, Econo Fab Pole Buildings, GorgeNet Internet Service, Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans, LaHaye's Custom Embroidery, Main Street Pizza, Oregon National Guard, Scoggins Creek Coffee, and Specialty Screen Printing. Now here's the play-by-play voice of Westside Mobile Media, Trevor Beard, alongside color analyst Jonathan Lee.
Welcome to this broadcast of an OSAA On Point Community Credit Union State Championship event. Serving more than 480,000 members, On Point Community Credit Union is the largest locally headquartered credit union and the proud title sponsor of OSAA State Championships. Your local Toyota dealers are proud to support the OSAA. Visit Toyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's...
Good evening, I'm Trevor Beard, voice of Westside Mobile Media. Tonight's game, the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 2022 3A Football Championships quarterfinals round between the 5th seed Santiam Christian Eagles of Adair Village just north of Corvallis and the number 4 seed Banks Braves, the winners of 3A District 1. Santiam Christian, the third place finisher out of 3A Special District 2. Kennedy, the team moving up from 2A that made it a special district as the Trojans play football only at the 3A level. The Eagles and the Braves, two very similar teams when you look at stats, the numbers on the scoreboard. However, the Eagles a much deeper roster. 9-1 overall. Their lone loss, a 24-20 defeat at Kennedy. That game coming in overtime after Santiam Christian had dominated the second half, falling with an interception in the end zone thrown by the Eagles quarterback. Santiam Christian won last week, defeating St. Mary's of Medford at home 28-0. Banks defeated Sisters 47-8 last week here at Hare Field on a much wetter night. However, rain has let up, I believe, for the moment, at least considerably died down. Kind of hard to tell from our vantage point if it's still maybe sprinkling, but last week in a monsoon, despite probably 8 fumbles combined between the two teams, Banks had no problem with Sisters, the 47-8 win. Banks has now outscored their 10 opponents 349-41 in 10 victories, and their league schedule really no game closer than more than about 2 touchdowns. Beat Warrenton 24-9 in the league opener at home, and after that, it was all Banks in league. Wins over Rainier 49-0, North Marion 51-6, Yamhill Carleton 31-0, Valley Catholic 56-0, and really their closest game this year outside of Warrenton was a non-league win in week 2 over 4A Tillamook, a 4A quarterfinal team that came in week 2 20-12 at Valley Catholic. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with more of the Banks Braves pregame show on Westside Mobile Media. We'll be back in 1 minute after this from On Point.
What's stopping you from going to school and learning new things? Or buying an old car to make it new again? Do you dream about building a business, exploring new places, or even buying your very first home? Whatever you're trying to do, On Point Community Credit Union can help you do it. With low-interest loans, credit cards, business banking, and more. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Want to give your kitchen or bath a fresh new look? Jason Bond Remodeling has over 20 years experience fabricating and installing stone countertops and can upgrade your home with the countertops of your dreams without the dreamy price tag. They pride themselves on quality and customer satisfaction. They also offer cabinet installation and will do their best to beat any bid by 10%. Based in Washington County and will service most Portland area locations. For quality kitchen and bath remodels, call Jason Bond Remodeling at 503-430-0145. And we're back to 2022 OSAA 3A On Point Community Credit Union 3A Football Championships quarterfinal round between the Santiam Christian Eagles of Adair Village and the number 4 Banks Braves. Good evening. I'm Trevor Beard. Thanks for joining us on tonight's broadcast. If you're just now listening as we come back from our first break, for over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has remained locally owned and operated, supporting the community and people in places that matter. That's why Pacific Office Automation continues to sponsor the OSAA year after year. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved. Just about 25 minutes before kickoff. Hopefully Jonathan Lee will be here before the start of the game, so we can hopefully chit-chat a little bit more about both these teams. But Banks, with these two teams having such potent offenses and defenses, you would expect a pretty balanced game on the field, and sometimes in games like that, special teams can make the difference. And Cole Crossan, the Braves field goal kicker and punter, the most prolific kicker in the state, 7 of 9, entering the playoffs last week, had 3 field goals in the win at North Marion in a 51-6 blowout victory. Nearly 2,700 kickoff yards, which again leads the state, as Cole Crossan, a converted soccer player, leads the team most likely in points scored. His brother Ashton, the leading ball carrier on the team, had a couple of touchdowns last week in the win over Sisters, as Santiam Christian huddling up on the end zone to our left on the south end of the field. Hare Field runs north and south. Far side, the visitor side with metal bleachers open, will be to the west side of the field. We're high above the home side at Hare Field, operated by Hillsborough School District. Banks starting quarterback Christian Lyda, not a real threat to run. Did have a couple of first down runs, though, in the victory over Sisters last week. But again, a very sloppy football game, kind of hard to throw, in a game that was kind of won between the trenches, but not really a mud fest, as Hare Field, all turf. One of the reasons why smaller schools like Banks in this area like to use this facility. Banks an all grass field for true home games. usually is not able to host playoff games on their true home field due to wet conditions this time of year. We mentioned Ashton Cross, and Banks has a couple of really strong receivers as well in Logan Kind and Jack Lyda, their main receiver. Logan Kind built more like a tight end, number 18, a 6'1", 190-pound senior. In fact, he is now listed at tight end. Started the year as wide receiver, but still lined up more in the tight end position. Max Walker, also another tight end receiver, 6'3", 180 pounds. Ashton Cross, and we mentioned him, the leading running back. Bo Wormington had a couple of touchdown passes earlier in the year. 6'3", 150-pound senior. Cole Crossan, kicker punter, we mentioned him, 5'9", 135-pound senior. Might have to bulk up some to play at the next level, but with his kind of stats this year, leading the state despite being in the 3A classification, should get some looks to play at the next level starting next season. Going down the line, Caden Harris likely be the backup running back tonight if he's called upon. Had a touchdown early in the third quarter, the final score of the game for Banks last week. Andrew Brown started the season as a receiver, but has now moved to offensive linebacker. Had a key interception in the win over Yamhill Carlton 31-0 on a game that was actually a lot closer than that. Banks had a 17-0 lead early in the fourth quarter, and then Andrew with a pick six with about 6.5 minutes left to seal the victory on the road to put the Braves up 24-0 with about 6.5 minutes left. And then Luke Bigsby, the defensive leader of the Banks Braves, 6'3", 270, offensive defensive lineman. And Jackson Van Domlin, 6'3", 300-pound offensive defensive lineman, the largest player on this team. And looking at the line for Santiam Christian, no player over 260, 265. With James Roden, a 6'4", 265 sophomore offensive defensive lineman. Santiam Christian started the season in a jamboree hosting Kennedy. Beat Paradise of California 40-7 in their first counting game, and blew out Cresswell 40-0. 2A Salem Academy 42-0. 34-15 win at Amity. A forfeit win over Jefferson. Again, like Banks, both these teams have forfeit wins. Banks a forfeit win over Corbett earlier in the year. Corbett just a 20-man roster and unable to play in about half their games this season. A 48-0 win over Newport. Beat Dayton 14-6 in a close game on the road. Beat Scio 36-0. Scio for much of the year, all the way up until the final week, I think, battling Lakeview for the kind of the wild card at-large spot in the 3A classification. Lakeview eventually got it and was blown out by Kennedy last week. And then the 24-20 overtime loss at Kennedy last week, and then the 28-0 win in the playoffs over St. Mary's of Medford last week. So there's a look at the schedule for the Santiam Christian Eagles. We'll take a look at the schedule for the Banks Braves when we come back. This is the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A Football Championships quarterfinal round between the number 5 Santiam Christian Eagles and the number 4 seed Banks Braves. We'll be back again in 1 minute after this from Pacific Office Automation.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
And we're back. This is the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A Football Championships quarterfinal round between the number 5 seed Santiam Christian Eagles and the number 4 seed Banks Braves. The winner of tonight's game will take on either Kennedy or Vale next weekend. If it's Kennedy, that game could be played at Silverton, which has been Kennedy's home field this year so far for the playoffs, as they're hosting Vale there tomorrow. If it's Vale, that game will likely be played either in Bend or the Dalles. Regardless, this will be our last broadcast for Westside Mobile Media due to OSAA contractual obligations. As Jonathan Lee gets prepared to join me up in our temporary booth tonight, we'll go over the schedule for the Banks Braves. 10-0, and really, well, they haven't lost this year. They haven't lost since they were a member of the 4A classification in a great game, 21-14 at Beaverton High School in the quarterfinals last year. The Braves opened the season with a 28-0 win at Astoria, 20-12, their closest win of the season against 4A Tillamook at Valley Catholic High School in a game that was originally scheduled as a true home game, but due to planned brownouts by PGE due to high fire danger at the time due to a very late and very hot extended summer, that game got moved to Beaverton. The true home opener was the league opener, a 24-9 win over Warrenton, and then offensively the game that really got everything going, the 42-6 blowout win over Pleasant Hill on the road. Pleasant Hill was ranked, I believe, number 7 at that time, and since then they never won a game the rest of the season. That game left the Billies devastated with injuries, and then the following week, Banks had been number 1, I think, up until week 5 with a forfeit win over Corbett, and due to their opponent that week, that kind of affected them. And then Kennedy's pretty much been ranked number 1. It's either been Banks or Kennedy number 1 all season. And then league play the rest of the way, 49-0 over Rainier, 31-0 over Yamhill Carlton, 56-0 over Valley Catholic, a 51-6 win over North Marion, which we talked about in the earlier in the pregame, where Cole Crossan had 3 field goals, perfect on the night, 6 for 6, 3 field goals, 6 extra points, and then the 47-8 win over Sisters here last week, as Jonathan Lee joins me for the pregame. Looks like he's still getting his equipment ready, so Banks will be wearing their home navy blue uniforms, Vegas gold numerals with Vegas gold stripes similar to the Chargers on the shoulder pads, white helmets with navy blue stripe down the center, and the Braves Arrowhead logo on the sides of the helmet. talking about the Chargers, if you want to try to picture an NFL uniform combination for the Braves' opponent, that most likely would be the Atlanta Falcons for the Santiam Christian Eagles. White uniforms with red stripes, red numerals, as I think Jonathan Lee is ready to join us in the booth now. Jonathan?
Test.
So I know we both kind of looked over the rosters this week. Last week, Banks had a sizable difference over Sisters. When you look at the line, looking at Santiam Christian, a much deeper roster than Banks, but no player larger than 265. And you look at Van Domlin at 300 pounds with Bigsby and some of the other big boys up front. Do you think the defensive line could be a difference in the game tonight?
Well, always for Banks, you've got Davon Marine that's anchoring that defensive line for the Banks Braves, and then some other guys that have stepped up this season. So certainly, that's always going to be a key. And they're coached by Steve Lyda, who always has a great game plan. And it's always one at the offensive line. That's the trenches, and so it's going to be the team that whichever team asserts themselves there on the offensive line and gets the most pass blocking, run blocking for the offense is the team that's going to, be able to propel this game forward. So, it all starts right there in the offensive line on the trenches, but, defensive line, you got to be able to defend as well. And, with guys like, Davon Vereen, I mean, he's got to be an impact player to watch, someone to watch in this game.
We talked a lot about Cole Crossan this year and his stats leading the state as kicker and in kickoff yards and in field goals this season. Early in the season, we thought Banks may have a game where he may be the difference in the game in a late field goal. This game kind of feels like that with a 4 versus 5 matchup.
Yeah, it's very even, the most evenly matched in terms of seeding, evenly matched game in the bracketing and the playoff structure. And Cole certainly has been great. We talked about this, I think, last week. At this level, 3A level, you don't see too many players that have an actual kicker and punter and that's actually rostered on there like Cole is. That's his one job, and he's been very successful at it. I think he would have been very successful in the 4A Coapa League, which Banks was in last year.
Yeah, speaking of last year, the last time Banks lost was a 21-14 game in the 4A quarterfinals at Beaverton High School against Mazama. You were there for that game with me as well. That was a great game. Hopefully, ironically enough, I believe that was another 4 versus 5 matchup. Hopefully we don't see a repeat of that tonight.
Yeah, that would not be something that Banks has in the cards. And of course, they're looking to go for it all and win it all. Dropping down, you've got a team that would have competed in the 4A level, and they're coming into 3A, and this is an opportunity. But certainly Kennedy has something to say about that if you can get past this game and get there, and Kennedy gets there as well. But it should be a great game tonight. And you mentioned Mazama. They're actually playing another Coapa League team tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock at Mazama High School down in Klamath Falls. They're playing Scappoose, who's the 8 seed, probably the strongest 8 seed in the state is Scappoose. Coach McNabb has Scappoose playing really well right now.
Well, you mentioned Banks at the 4A level. I really believe that they would have been a playoff team even at the 4A level this year, probably finishing second in that league behind Scappoose, considering they already beat Tillamook earlier this year, the second place finisher out of, now it's 4A District 1 with Milwaukee, and I believe there's another 5A team maybe that dropped down to join that league. But Milwaukee been a member of the 4A District 1 for quite a number of years now, but Seaside getting blown out last week on the road at Mazama. I think Banks probably would have been either the number 2 or number 3 team in District 1 this year if they had stayed at 4A.
Yeah, St. Helens, I think, is the team you're thinking of that dropped down to the Coapa League. St. Helens and Scappoose both dropping down from the 5A what was the Northwest Conference, and now that league is the Special District 1 of the 5A ranks. And St. Helens actually, that kind of helped them as well, because St. Helens was, I think, winless last year in Northwest Oregon Conference play, and they actually got some wins. They just missed the playoffs, but you're right. I think Banks would have competed. Definitely, they beat Tillamook in a game that was the game that was switched over to Valley Catholic because of all those rolling blackouts and stuff. PGA, the planned power outage that weekend, and it was a great game. Banks showed it, and Tillamook went on to win the Coapa League this year. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And Tillamook is actually playing tonight. They're a 6th seed in the 4A playoffs. They are playing. Yeah, they're hosting tonight at Tillamook.
Well, when I first started broadcasting Banks athletics about 7 or 8 years ago, 8 seasons, 7 years, Scappoose was still a regular member of the Coapa League, and Banks and Scappoose had some pretty great games, including one that was on a homecoming night. Scappoose was able to call timeout with less than a second left and kick a game-winning field goal. So Banks and Scappoose have had some pretty great matchups at the even at the 4A level. So I think even as a 3A team, Banks probably would still be able to compete against Scappoose.
Yeah, Scappoose is a power, but Banks is a power as well. And you got 2 great coaches there, Coach McNabb for Scappoose, and of course Coach Linehan for Banks. It would have been fun to see, and I think it would have been, they played Tillamook, and actually Tillamook beat Scappoose. Although I think if they were to play against Scappoose, and many people agree with this, that I've seen this from different coaches and media reps talking about this. They believe that Scappoose would have beaten Tillamook if they were to meet up again, but it would have been an interesting matchup, Banks and Tillamook.
We talked about some interesting connections for Santiam Christian. I know you mentioned Tim Ewes to me last week, part of a great Oregon State roster that beat Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl 42-9. I thought you mentioned that he was one of the assistants. I didn't see him listed on the Santiam Christian roster, but did see one of his daughters last week at the 3A, 4A volleyball state tournament in Springfield. But another interesting name that I know you recognize on the Santiam Christian coaching staff is a Moivau. And got confirmation earlier from one of the Santiam Christian camera guys that he's actually the brother of one-time quarterback Eliel Moivau for Oregon State, as I think we're going to have tonight's national anthem. We'll go ahead and cut our mic while that happens. Again, we want to thank all of our veterans on this Veterans Day. And we're back from the national anthem, as again, this is the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A State Championships quarterfinal round between the number 5 seed Santiam Christian Eagles of Adair Village, just north of Corvallis on Highway 99, and the Banks Braves, the 4 seed, located about 25 minutes west of Portland, the champions of the 3A District 1 League. Santiam Christian, either the number 2 or the number 3 finisher out of 3A Special District 2. The winner of tonight's game will take on either Kennedy or Vale. And Jonathan, we will not know the winner of that game until tomorrow afternoon at a 1 o'clock contest at Silverton High School. The other 2 games in the brackets, again, the top 8 seeds advanced. No upsets in the first round. The 6 seed Dayton is at number 3 South Umpqua Myrtle Creek tonight, and the 7 seed Lapine, 7 seed team from Lapine is at Cascade Christian at Spiegelberg Stadium. Really, I'm not sure if you've seen that stadium, but I've been there for a game against St. Mary's back when I was in high school, and that really is even a nice facility even for a college stadium, although I think it's just used for high school football in the Medford area as the teams exchange pleasantries after the coin toss. Black helmets for the Eagles of Santiam Christian. Red trim, white uniforms with red numerals. White pants. Banks navy blue pants with Vegas gold triangle chain representing the Coast Range with a transparent line reflecting the Coast Range, reflecting off the Tualatin River. It appears Banks will kick to start the game, so I know when they win the toss, they like to defer. That is a big Oregon thing. Cole Linehan, a strong Oregon connection. Played for the Ducks.
Played for the Ducks, yes. As rain starts to, light rain showers start to fall here in Hillsborough. Trevor, before we start to kick off, great time to remind everybody that as the title sponsor of the OSAA State Championships, On Point does everything it can to help our team and the community get ahead. On Point delivers the local banking and lending its members need to reach their goals and make more possible. Visit On Point at onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Cole Crossan has the ball teed up, and we're about to get this one underway. And it looks like it's going to be taken at about the 10-yard line. Bobbled the grab, but has some room down the far side. Finally knocked out of bounds up past the 32-yard line, number 14.
Caleb Neese.
Thank you. Caleb Neese, the return man that time. 6 foot, 165-pound wide receiver safety. They'll actually mark it all the way back to the 30. Looked like he got across the 30-yard line before he went out of bounds, and it's the nose of the football barely touching the 30. Looks like it's going to be Melshow, the 6 foot, 200-pound senior quarterback out of shotgun, with one back and tackled 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Number 32, Jaden Christie, is going to lose yards on the first offensive play of the game for the Eagles.
Yeah, just a great blitz package put up there by Steve Lyda that time, the defensive coordinator for the Braves.
A loss of 4, back to the 26, second down and 14. Need to get to the 40 for a first down. Melshow again comes to the line with Christie, the lone back, and fakes the give, now throws over the middle. Pass is juggled but caught for a first down all the way up to midfield by number 80. And it looks like a tight end, Gavin Van Valkenburg, 6'3", 200-pound senior.
That was a great job to thread the needle as the receiver was right in between the safety Caden Harris, and then the left corner, Jack Lyda, and the receiver was right there between them and just put the ball right there what it needed to be.
Sisters last week had a big play on their, I think their first play of the game. You weren't here yet last week, but Santiam Christian, a much different team than Sisters, and Banks is going to have to play better than last week. I know it's much drier, so hopefully not a lot of fumbles, but first down for the Eagles, and their quarterback to give to Christie, and he's going to be inside the 35, down to the 33. Another Eagles first down, and after the first run play netted negative yards, they got a little play action on the last pass play, and I think it affected the run that time for the Braves defense.
Well, they're just finding a hole right there in the gaps of the defense. Banks is playing a three-man front defensively, and Santiam Christian just finding the gaps in the defense and taking advantage of it. That's something that definitely that Coach Linehan and defensive coordinator Steve Lyda are going to have to work through and make some adjustments.
I don't think Banks has trailed all year, and Santiam Christian driving on the opening game. Another big hole for Christie. Braves trying to strip the ball loose, but it's going to be another decent gain down to about the 27 with under 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score, number 5, Santiam Christian, and number 4, Banks. But the Eagles driving on their opening possession of the game.
And again, went right through that gap. No one was right there. I mean, the Banks Braves defenders were coming forward, and they just let Christie walk right on by. I mean, he met no resistance at the line.
Second down and 4, 2 receivers set, one each side, with Christie out of the backfield. And again, he's going to have the first down, but a little bit better job, but still picked up 4 or 5 yards that time on the carry.
Yeah, Banks kind of shifted over their outside linebacker that time, shifted a little bit more. Still went with the three-man front defensively, but shifted that outside linebacker a little more to the inside.
First and 10 for the Eagles, threatening to enter the red zone. Banks has not trailed this season. Again, Christie, the lone back to the right offset of Melchberg. And has some room off the near side. Gets knocked out of bounds about the 15. Another decent gain for Santiam Christian on the ground. Melchau, not Melchberg, the quarterback. But again, too many yards for the Braves defense given up to Christie that time. They'll mark it at the 14.
Yeah, that was Jack Lyda, the left corner coming up. He was just staying home right in his position. He's right there. Just let the play come to him and made the play to keep him from getting any more yardage than he did.
Again, just a 2-receiver set. Caleb Ness, the lone receiver to the top. Near side is Camden Carley with Christie, the lone back to the left of Melchau. And again, the give to Christie, and he's going to walk. He didn't quite get in, but it's going to be first and goal inside the 5 for the Eagles.
Just finding those running lanes, and credit the offensive line. And, we talked about it in the pregame. You asked me about the defensive line today, and I said, well, the game is won by the offensive line. They're the guys in the trenches. And right now, Santiam Christian doing a great job of providing those holes for Christie to run through.
First and goal for the Eagles from the Braves 2, under 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Santiam Christian has to hurry to break the huddle, or they're going to get a false start penalty or delay of game. And do we have a timeout? Timeout, Santiam Christian is there late to break the huddle. 7:41 to go in the first quarter. Eagles driving, though, first and goal from the Banks 2. That will give us time to tell you that you can stay connected to your favorite team with the OSAA Live mobile app. OSAA Live features the latest scores, schedules, and rankings for all teams and leagues across Oregon. You can access OSAA state championship programs, read the latest prep news and information, and you can search OSAA Live in the App Store or on Google Play to download today. Eagles come back onto the field from their sideline across the way to the west side. Braves are getting lined up. It's Aspinall. Christie on the ground for the Eagles. And fake the give, and this time a much better job. They initially faked it and then decided to give it to him. I think that little hesitation allowed the Banks defense to do a little better job of wrapping up that time on Christie's. He's going to lose back close to the 5.
Yeah, it was a great job by the Banks coaching staff to take advantage of the opponent's timeout there and also make some adjustments and cook up a good scheme to plug the gaps, plug the holes.
So loss of 2 for Christie on the play, 2nd and goal from the 4. Again, the give to Christie, and he's brought down shy of the goal line. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. And 2 down territory here, I'm sure, for the Eagles, but how great of a defensive stop would this be for Banks after giving all kinds of big chunk yard plays on the ground to Christie?
If they can finish the deal, a goal line stand like this does huge for your team to pump you up, and that would be the last thing Santiam Christian would want to have.
3rd and goal, back to the 2 where the ball was the previous play before the loss by Christie. And I don't think he got there, maybe a half yard. It's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, no, it was another great pursuit right this time, plug it up the middle that time. Banks, were right there, and they, if anything, knocked it backwards for a loss.
4th down and goal, under 6 minutes. Santiam Christian trying to keep the ball away from the Braves' prolific offense. Just back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like, to the 2 is where they'll mark the football. Santiam Christian has had the ball more than 6 minutes on this opening drive, taking up more than half the first quarter.
Yeah, all running plays. I don't think they've thrown the ball once.
Well, they had a pass play once on a play action that was caught, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. Number 32, Jaden Christie from 2 yards out. 5:27 to go in the first quarter. We'll keep it here until the extra point, and we'll head to break. Kicking, it looks like, for Santiam Christian will be Caleb Ness. Snap is down, and it is no good. Wide to the, looked like it was wide right, but apparently it just got inside the right crossbar. So with 5:27 to go in the first quarter, it's now Santiam Christian 7 and Banks nothing. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Sarah Hesselman, Premier Property Group.
Same great smile, same great service, but a brand new location and a great new team. Sarah Hesselman Group is still proud to support Banks High School athletics, but has now joined the Premier Property Group real estate team with new offices located in Bethany. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact the Sarah Hesselman Group, Sarah at sarahhesselman.com, or call 503-313-0748.
And we're back, Santiam Christian with a touchdown lead, 7-0 with 5:27 to go in the opening quarter after the Braves gave up a touchdown on the opening drive. 2-yard run for Jaden Christie, and for the Braves it's going to be Cole Crossan with the give to, or Ashton Crossan with the give to number 53, fighting for extra yards up close to the 30 after the end around to Dave Onverine that time. Ball to the far side for 10 Braves from the 28. Warmington, and it looks like Jack Lyda to the near side. Trips all to the near side, 3 receivers set. And the give out of the backfield to Cole Crossan. He's going to lose back to the 25. And not a good start for the Braves on either side of the ball. They will give him forward progress to the 26, but second down and 12. Now twins each way for the Braves offense. Again, Cole Crossan to the right of Lyda. Lyda rolls right, looks to throw. Now will step up into the pocket and throw high out of bounds. They'll bring up third down and 12.
Santiam Christian player a little slow to get up on the play.
Out of bounds pass play stops the clock. 4:41 to go in the first quarter. Santiam Christian a 7-0 lead after a 2-yard touchdown run for Jaden Christie. Third down at 12 for the Braves from their own 26. Logan Kine to the near side with Jack Lyda. Christian Lyda to throw, and this ball is right there, step for step. Could have been intercepted. Great job that time by Camden Carley, the defensive back, right there with one of the leading receivers for the Braves, Logan Kine. And the Braves are going to have to punt on their opening possession.
Yeah, ball looked like it was a little underthrown by a little bit there, and Camden Carley stride for stride with Logan Kine, and you got to be. It takes pretty good corner or safety to stay stride for stride with Logan Kine, who's one of the speedier guys on this Braves roster.
Crossan standing back at about his own 12-yard line. Eagles should have great field position for their second drive of the game. And it's going to bounce, and Braves, great job by the special teams to actually down it at about the 33-yard line. So great kick that time by Cole Cross, and after it looked like Santiam Christian was going to have the ball close to midfield, they will get decent field position, but a little bit further back at their own 33-yard line. Great job by the Braves special teams defense that time.
Well, each team has had a possession here. We saw what Santiam Christian did on the first one, marched it all the way down, used 6 minutes of clock, and got that 2-yard touchdown run. The Braves having to punt on their first possession, so we'll see what happens here for Santiam Christian on their second possession of the ball game.
And again, the give to Christie, and they're not going to be. The Braves were in the backfield as the ball was placed in his pouch, and he's going to lose again, probably another 3 or 4 yards like he did on that first play.
Davon Vereen right there in the middle, one of the first of the Braves to get to him. He had plenty of help from his friends, but I saw Davon Vereen in there.
A loss of actually only about 2 back to the 31. Second down and 12.
Davon Vereen, of course, the 6'1", 200-pound senior linebacker.
Tight formation for the Eagles with Christie the lone back, and again, a big chunk of yards up past the 35, 36, 37-yard line. It'll be third down, but much more manageable third down and about 8 for the Eagles. Third down,
like he picked up 3 yards on that carry.
Third down and 7. Ball placed right between the 35 and the 36 far side. Need to get to the 43 for a first down. Again, a tight formation with the one receiver each side for the Eagles. Fake the give to Christie, and the pass out is caught. 40, 45, 50, down the near side. Ankle tackle made by number 30 for the Braves, Caden Harris, but another first down for the Eagles on another, just their second pass play of the game. both to Van Valkenburg.
Yeah,
Van Valkenburg, sorry.
The receiver was wide open for Santiam Christian. Just a nice little route run that time, and there was no Braves defender within at least 5 yards of him, and easy catch to make. And he had, just turned upfield and got a lot of positive yardage.
First down Eagles from the Braves 42, and again it's back to Christie. Another big hole inside the 40, down to about the 37, but another decent gain of about 5 or 6 yards on first down.
Jack Lyda was the one that tripped him up there right at the end of the play on the looks like the 37-yard line.
Second down and 5 from the 37. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Eagles a touchdown lead after Jaden Christie scored from 2 yards out on the opening drive. Again, the give to Christie, and has a couple of big holes, and finally he had a lot more room than that. He just didn't pick the right hole. Otherwise, he could have gotten another 10 or 15 yards at least, but he's going to be stopped inside the 35 to the 34 in another big third down play defensively for the Braves.
Yeah, he just got into a little stalemate, mano-a-mano there with Max Walker, and that's not a matchup he's going to win too many times. If you're going to get on one-on-one with Max Walker, and Max won that one.
Third down and short, only 2 pass plays for the Eagles, but they've both been big chunk yard plays for first downs, and the give to Christie, and he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be fourth down. He may have gotten a yard, but they're going to give him a yard. It's going to be fourth and 1, and I would expect Santiam Christian to go with the ball in this end of the field.
Less than a yard, 4th and inches.
40 seconds to go. This may be the final play of the first quarter. Christie the lone back, 1 receiver each way for the Eagles, and the give to Christie, he's not going to get it. And the Braves bench now excited about that play with all the momentum. Defense finally coming up with a big stop, and the Braves will take over on downs with decent field position from about their own 35.
Well, in a game like this, it's all about momentum shifts, and that's something to watch it going on. And right now, Banks just got a ton of momentum with getting a turnover on downs like that.
They'll actually mark it back to the 33, but big stop for the Braves on fourth down. Clock stops on the change of possession with 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Santiam Christian a 7-0 lead. Christian Lyda will fake right and now give it left to Crossan, and will dive forward for maybe a yard to the 34, and that will likely be the final play of the first quarter as we're inside 15 seconds. Lyda now entering the huddle, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Banks trailing for the first time this season. Offense needs to get something rolling after 1. It's Santiam Christian 7 on a 6-minute scoring drive to open the game. Santiam Christian 7 and the Banks Braves nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter after this from Toyota.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Rankings are important numbers in determining Oregon high school playoffs. So are rankings when choosing a lender to help you with purchasing or refinancing your home. Our local community home loan expert, Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans, is ready to help you win the day. Call Christy today for all of your home loan needs at 503-327-5302 or caliberhomeloans.com/kvanmeter. Christy Van Meter, NMLS number 1700271, state licensed in Oregon, an equal housing lender. All products are subject to credit and property approval.
And we're back, start of the second quarter. Santiam Christian a 7-0 lead in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 2022 3A football quarterfinals. And a big pass play to Logan Kind. It looks like close to a first down off the far side as we a little late coming back getting the scoreboard updated. It will be a Braves first down, their first of the game. It looked like, oh yeah, they're going to get a false start. Somebody jumped early. And just as the Braves were starting to get something going, it looks like Christian Lyda giving a tap on the helmet to number 57 for the Braves. That's Jace Borders. So it's going to be 1st and 15. First penalty of the game for either team. It comes on the second play of the second quarter. Braves trailing 7-0. 4 receivers set. Wormington, the lone receiver, to the near side. Crossing the lone back. Quick pass out of the backfield. Screen play. And Logan Kind is going to get the 5 yards back, but that's it. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball back to the 44. Second down and 10, under 11 minutes first half. Braves trailing 7-0. Cole Cross in the lone back. Actually, it's Harris. A direct snap. Actually, it's Cole Cross in the direct snap midfield and doing a great job of following his blockers and gets close to another first down. He'll be maybe a yard or two short, but much better position than where they were a moment ago after the penalty, 1st and 15.
Yeah, that was just a great job by Ashton Cross in that time to, follow, like you said, follow the blockers and get down there close to the getting the first down.
Wow.
By the nose of the football.
So that's a big play. Braves continuing this drive with their first drive inside Eagles territory, only their second drive of the game. 1st and 10 from the Eagles 46. Lyda out of shotgun, looks to throw, has Cross and pass, bounced off the tackler, thrown down inside the 40, a decent gain on a first down pass play, short yardage, but a nice job again by Ashton to pick up some extra yards and get inside the 40.
Yeah, Luke Bellamy made the stop for Santiam Christian, coming up from his defensive line position.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 3. Give to Crossan, has a little bit of a hole, got some room around the outside or near side, and I believe he's got the first down, maybe a half a yard short. It's going to be a full yard short, 3rd down and 1. And with the type of offense Santiam Christian runs, trying to keep the ball away from Banks, Banks needs to take advantage of every possession and at least try to pick up points, whether it's between the uprights or in the end zone.
Well, I guarantee you Coach Linehan and company's not thinking field goal.
Right. And again, the direct snap to Cross, and we have, looks like a flag thrown on the far side. This may come back. A flag thrown at the 38. Illegal formation against the Braves. So now instead of 3rd and short, it's 3rd and 7. But already down 1 score, nearing the midway point of the second quarter, likely 2-down territory for Banks. 3rd and 7 from the Eagles 42. Whistles and the timeout, Banks. 8:24 to go in the first half. Santiam Christian 7, Banks nothing. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from On Point.
What's stopping you from going to school and learning new things? Or buying an old car to make it new again? Do you dream about building a business, exploring new places, or even buying your very first home? Whatever you're trying to do, On Point Community Credit Union can help you do it. With low-interest loans, credit cards, business banking, and more. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
And we're back, 7-0 Santiam Christian, the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A football quarterfinals. I'm Trevor Beard, voice of Westside Mobile Media. Joining me is Jonathan Lee. 3rd down and 7 following the illegal formation penalty against the Braves. Just the second of the game, but both have come in big plays on this drive. Lyda to throw, pass is tipped and knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that was Jeremy Neese getting his big old paw up there to bat that pass in the air. Sort of like a rejection in basketball.
And this may kind of change the decision now on whether to go for it on 4th and 7 with the ball at midfield. Looks like Cole Crossan is coming on. Oh, no, that's Logan Kind. I thought it was 16 for a moment. Now I see
it is
Cole.
16.
Ness will be back around his own 15. Crossan gets the kick away. It's going to bounce and be downed at about the 12. So nice job by Cole Crossan to pin the Eagles deep. 1st and 10, Santiam Christian with the ball at their own 12-yard line. 8:10 to go in the first half. A very low-scoring game. Definitely not what we expected with two high-potent offenses coming into this game.
Yeah, that's the second possession, second punt for the Braves here. You don't see Banks really punting too much, and definitely not on their first 2 possessions. That's definitely something that is going to stick in the craw of Coach Linehan here in this first half.
Melshow out of shotgun. Oh, no, he gave it to Christie. He's going to be pushed back to the 5, and they're not going to get the safety. The whistle was blown dead as he was stood up on big loss on the play. But the Braves now pinning the Eagles deep may come out of it with a safety after all.
Yeah, they're going to mark that ball back down to about the 7-8 yard line. Definitely a big loss. Davon Vereen knocking him backwards, and a good call to block it down where the progress was stopped.
2nd down and long for the Eagles, but they've been here before and usually go to the air after a negative rushing play. And Melshow flushed out of the pocket and is going to be ran out of bounds up close to the 20. I think he's going to be a couple yards shy around the 18. It'll be, I think, around 3rd down and 7.
He was running for his life that time.
Looks like he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage where they marked him out apparently. So 3rd down and 10. And again, another big play for the Braves defense. If they can get a stop here, I would be very surprised if the Eagles went for it on 4th down here. And a punt, you may see the Braves come after it with a punt. If they're able to hold them for no yardage here, the Eagles would likely be punting out of their own end zone. Actually, 3rd down and 11 from the 11-yard line. Melshow, the quarterback, and he's going to have the first down and more down the far side. Finally knocked out of bounds by Jack Lyda, all the way up close to the 45 far side. So the Braves with a great chance to pick up a stop and get great field position for a chance to tie. Give up a huge run to the quarterback, Jared Melshow, for the Eagles, and it's 1st and 10 Santiam Christian from their own 41. A gain of 30 on the carry on the quarterback keeper. Now the Eagles back to a little bit more traditional format. Christie is going to get swarmed under back behind the 40 to the 38. It'll be a loss of 2 or 3 yards. I think they're going to mark it to the 39, a loss of 2. But again, Santiam Christian has been so good at getting out of second and third down and long situations. The OSAA is going digital with Hometown Ticketing, the official ticketing partner of the OSAA. Access tickets for all first round through state championship finals via the OSAA website or OSAA Live app. Order your tickets in advance and present your digital ticket at the gate. Convenient, paperless, and easy to use. Visit osaa.org/tickets. And Melchow, the pass out of the backfield, has a safety gate in Volkenberg, but he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, I think he's going to lose another yard. It'll be 3rd down and 13.
Yes, he did lose 1 yard.
Clock under 6 minutes, first half. Santiam Christian, a 7-0 lead.
It's their 3rd possession of the first half.
Be a great time for a turnover. Again, 2 receivers each side, and again, has some room up the middle. Finally, that's going to depend on the spot. I think he's going to be about a yard short, but with the ball.
Yeah, they're spotting it at the 50-yard line. That's exactly a yard short,
but
it'll be 4th and 1.
With the ball at midfield now, I don't know. Santiam Christian's got a decision. I would probably go for it if I were them and try to keep the ball away from Banks. But if they don't get it, you're going to give Banks their best field position to start a drive.
Well, going back to that play, Banks was bringing 8-9 guys in the box, and they were bringing obviously overloading on the blitz there, and it gave the quarterback a chance to gain that big.
Eagles
yardage.
back to that bunch formation. Christie's going to lose yards. Back to the 48. 1st and 10. Banks with the ball in Eagles territory with under 5 minutes left to go in the first half. The biggest play of the game so far, either side of the ball for Banks, and it comes defensively on a big stop of the Eagles' star running back, Jaden Christie.
Well, that's another momentum shift right there, and that is the 2nd straight time that Banks has got Santiam Christian turn it over on downs.
And I think we have a timeout. Santiam Christian, 4:41 to go in the first half. Eagles 7, Banks nothing, but the Braves driving when we come back after this from Pacific Office Automation.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Oh, wow. So miscommunication on the play. And we're back. Banks defense with a huge defensive stand on 4th and 1 for the Eagles. The 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A football quarterfinals. Fake the gift across and light of the dump down play to Max Walker is going to be for a short gain of about 3 to the 46.
Well, that's just a great little pass that time by Christian Lida as he really threaded the needle because there was 2 defenders right around Max Walker, and he put it in a spot where only Max could go and catch that ball. So it was a great pass by Christian that time.
Clock coming up on 4 minutes to go in the first half. Banks trying to go in at halftime at least tied. Lyda out of shotgun. Screen pass to Crossan out of the backfield. 45, slips a tackle. 40, 35, 30, finally brought down inside the 30-yard line. 29-28. Clock stops on the first down with under 4 minutes to go in the first half.
And it is important to know that with that first down, of course, like you said, the clock stops, and the Braves do have 2 timeouts. So at their disposal to use should they need it. And, of course, right away, as soon as the chains get set, the clock starts again.
So that's the biggest offensive play for the Braves. A gain of 14 on the screen pass to Ashton Crossan. 4 receivers set, trips offset to the near side, whistles, and I think a timeout Banks.
Santiam Christian using their last.
Santiam Christian calls the timeout with 3:35 left in the first half. We will keep things here and tell you that OSAA Today is your spot for all high school state championship coverage, from news, stories, coaches polls, and more. You can get it all by visiting OSAA Today. Go to osaa.org/today. And On Point Community Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the OSAA State Championships. On Point is Oregon's largest locally headquartered credit union, serving more than 495,000 members. Visit onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by the NCUA. NCUA, that stands for National Credit Union Association. On Point Community Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender. Santiam Christian set. Braves come to the line following the Eagles' timeout. Looks like a 4-receiver set for Banks. 2 in tight to the top. Christian Lyda now scrambling and is going to have to be thrown down hard back behind the line of scrimmage about the 32. It'll be a loss on the play. Second down and 12. Clock moving, nearing the 3-minute mark. Well, Jonathan, I'm not sure if you saw the opening kickoff or not, but Banks will receive to start the second half, so they do have that going for them if they're unable to score here, but they'd like to go in at halftime at least tied. Second down and 12 for Lyda and the Braves offense from the Eagles 32. Pass dumped down off to now in a late flag. This may go against the Eagles. Jack Lyda makes the catch, but he's a little slow to get up, and he may not get up.
Yeah, that was kind of a hit, kind of below the waist there, as it kind of upended him as he caught it, and.
Now they're picking up the flag. Officials timeout due to an injury to Jack Lyda. Hopefully nothing serious.
I think maybe in the never really don't want to diagnose it, but yeah, that was it was hit in an awkward spot, and then it was coming down, and of course when it's cold like this and the turf is cold and wet.
And it's not looking good. Jack Lyda having his left foot being lifted off the ground. His right foot is planted. Now he is able to move that left foot, so maybe just a cramp. Looks like he's just trying to shake it off. So hopefully he'll be able to stay in the game. 2:41 left. Third down and 11 from the 31. Likely 2-down territory for Banks, trying to tie the game before halftime. So Jack Lyda will come out. Extra receiver replacing him is Braden Bigsby. Tight formation, ball to the near side with Walker, Bigsby, and Wormington to the near side. Pass is thrown high and should have been intercepted. And is now 4th and long on a pass that was there to be made. Christian just threw it high.
Yeah, that was in and out of the fingertips of Camden Carley, the defender for Santiam Christian. Just bounced out. I don't think wasn't really expecting to get that, and so it kind of bounced off his fingertips.
4th down and 11 from the Eagles 31, under 2.5 minutes. Clock stops on the incompletion with 2:29 to go in the first half. Looks like 5 receivers for the Braves offense. Lyda now is going to have some room down the near side and can't quite get there. That's too bad. Christian Lyda came up just a yard short on the first down as the play broke down, and had his best effort to try to get to the marker, but it's going to be first down Eagles from the 22.
Yeah, he just stepped outside, just stepped out of bounds, just a little bit too late. He needed like another step, but great defensive play by Santiam Christian to not give him that lane to get, it's not like he went out too early. I mean, he couldn't get there because of the defense was right there standing in his way. So it was a great play by Santiam Christian.
2:20 to go in the first half. Santiam Christian a 7-0 lead. The only score of the game came on a Jaden Christie 2-yard touchdown run on the opening drive for the Eagles. Now it looks like Santiam Christian going to look with more of an eye look and fake the give to Christie. Pass is caught and stumbling, making the grab and gaining his balance up to the 30, close to a first down on the pass play to number 36 for the Eagles, Andrew Haas. Second down and a yard, and this is dangerous territory for defense. Anytime you have a second and short situation, you basically have a free play, and Santiam Christian might try something deep. Christie the lone back, 2 receivers, 1 each side, and here we go with another pass play, and nice job by Max Walker, face guarded, but didn't interfere with the receiver, so no pass interference on the call, and it's now 3rd down and short. And if the Braves can come up with the stop, they should get the ball back with a little bit of time to maybe have a chance to tie still yet before halftime.
Yeah, Max had his back to the ball. If he could have been kind of a little bit more tilted to the side, at least had an arm, he might have had a chance to pick that off.
3rd down and a long yard for Santiam Christian. The give to Christie, and he's going to get the first down. Up diving forward ahead past the 35 to the 36. And that will likely take away any notion of Banks using any timeouts they may have to try to stop the clock. They'll mark it at the 35, under 90 seconds left in the first half. Banks trailing 7-0. Braves will get the ball first to start the second half.
And if you're a Banks Braves fan, you definitely do not want to see Santiam Christian go down and get any kind of touchdown here before halftime.
And Melshow rolling right and is going to be pushed out of bounds in his own bench up past the 40, 42-yard line. It'll be another big gain, though, 2nd down and 3. First down marker at the 45. Clock under a minute, 58 seconds left as it stops on the run out of bounds by Melshow. Coming up at halftime, we'll have the Wana Credit Union scoreboard. If we have any scores to give you, again, a early start with a 6 o'clock kick. Melshow back to throw, and has a man down there, no flag on the play. Jack Lyda, the man in coverage in the secondary, ran into the receiver, but they were step for step. And so no flag on the play. Clock stops with 52 seconds left.
No flag because that ball was overthrown. He wouldn't have had a chance to get to that ball. It was overthrown by a couple of yards.
3rd down and 3. Melchow with Christie the lone back. 3-receiver set. Now man in motion for the Eagles. Camden Carley. And short game, but a flag on the play. If this is against Santiam Christian, it could be 4th down. Indication is against the Eagles. Possibly a hold. They're going to pick up the flag again. Every time there's been a flag thrown on Santiam Christian, they pick up the flag. So 4th down and 2 for Santiam Christian. I think we have a timeout. Banks, 43 seconds left. Banks still with one more opportunity to get the ball back and hopefully score before halftime. This is the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A Football Championships quarterfinal round. Santiam Christian 7, Banks nothing when we come back late first half.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye's is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets, custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye's is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsboro. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahayes.com or call us at 503-648-2341.
And we're back, 7-0. Santiam Christian still with a 1-score lead. 43 seconds left in the first half. And Santiam Christian is going to kick it away. They do get the kickoff. Lyda back at about his own 25. Gets to the outside, now cuts back and is going to go backwards. And it took a lot of time and not much yardage. In fact, probably loses back to the 23. 29 seconds left in the first half. So the Braves will get the ball back before halftime. But as Smokey used to say, we got a long ways to go and a short time to get there. There in this situation being the end zone. Reference to Smokey and the Bandit, classic movie from the 1970s. 29 seconds left. Banks needs 75 yards in about 30 seconds to get to the end zone. If they had Jamar Flippin back like last year, that would be possible in one play. Lyda, tight formation for receiver. Oh, they're not even going to attempt any notions at a scoring drive, as they're just going to take a knee and head to the halftime. Go ahead.
It's not necessary when you're going to get the ball to start the second half. I mean, it's only 20 seconds, and you're only down 7-0. Just take a knee. That's the right call. Take a knee, go into halftime, talk about it, and devise a plan. I mean, they're fortunate to only be down 7-0.
Yeah, Christian Lyda, kind of a tough night passing offense, not able to get anything going. Really the largest pass play, a 14-yard screen pass to Ashton Crossan in the second quarter. And at the half, it's Santiam Christian 7 and the Banks Braves nothing. This is the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A Football Championships quarterfinal round. We'll be back in 2 minutes after this from On Point.
What's stopping you from going?
So all the on points are red, right? Is that what you were trying to say?
No, I got the on point and POA.
Okay.
Your very first home. Whatever you're trying to do, On Point Community Credit Union can help you do it. With low interest loans, credit cards, business banking, and more. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA.
Like
Equal housing opportunity.
Drive the second half, and we may see a little trickery because they haven't had the ball a whole lot in the first half. Kind of, again, I hate to say it, but it reminds me of last year against Mazama.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Banks Post newspaper is the official news provider of West Side's greatest hits. Listen hourly for West Side news from the Banks Post newsroom. Banks Post newspaper covers Banks, Manning, Buxton, Roy, and surrounding western Washington County communities. If you'd like more information on the Banks Post or want to pick up a copy, visit a local business today. You can also visit their website at bankspost.com or their Facebook page, Banks Post.
Do you or someone you know own a business? As a local business ourselves, we know how important daily operations are, which is why we offer small dollar business loans for equipment, building upgrades, machinery, and more. The credit union even provides employee benefits for business members. Learn more at wanafcu.org or ask to speak with a commercial team member today. Again, to learn more, visit wanafcu.org. And we're back, halftime of the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A Football Championships quarterfinals. Santiam Christian a 7-0 lead. The only touchdown of the first half came on a 2-yard Jaden Christie run on the opening drive, which saw the Eagles take up 6 minutes and 13 seconds on the opening drive, scoring with 5:47 left to go in the first quarter. Banks not really able to get much going offensively. No turnovers in this game, but probably should have been at least a couple by Santiam Christian. It's been kind of a rough night for Banks on both sides of both areas offensively, both running and passing. The largest play of the game for the Braves, a 14-yard screen pass to Ashton Crossan in the second quarter. Good evening, I'm Trevor Beard. Thanks for joining us for this OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 2022 3A Football Championships quarterfinal matchup. Halftime, Santiam Christian a 7-0 lead. Joining me, as is again the case, Jonathan Lee. Jonathan, what's your take on this first half?
Well, I just wanted to, we do have one other score to report from tonight's competition. The other game going on at 6 o'clock as well, and that's in the 4A quarterfinals. It's down at Klamath Falls at Mazama High School. Henley leading Estacada 7-6 in the second quarter.
At Harefield in Hillsboro, the Santiam Christian Eagles with a 7-0 lead over the Banks Braves in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 2022 3A Football Championships quarterfinal round. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back after this from Pacific Office Automation.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Ourselves, we know how important daily operations are, which is why we offer small dollar business loans for equipment, building upgrades, machinery, and more. The credit union even provides employee benefits for business members. Learn more at wanafcu.org or ask to speak with a commercial team member today. Again, to learn more, visit wanafcu.org.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main Street pizza.
And we're back as we get ready to start the third quarter of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A State Football Quarterfinals. A little bit of technical difficulties here at halftime, but appreciate you sticking with us, and hopefully we've gotten them taken care of. Some battery issues earlier in the game. Banks will have the ball first to start the second half. And there's the horn. The horn sounds 0 as Banks makes their way onto the field, so we will likely see 3 more minutes added to the clock. The only score in the game, a score on the opening drive from Santiam Christian and running back Jaden Christie from 2 yards out, pretty much all on the ground for the Eagles in the first half. They have had a couple of passing plays, mainly on that opening drive, but they've all been for big chunk plays, and they've been able to fool Banks a couple of times with play action after being so successful on the ground, Jonathan. That's what a good running game can do when you, on the rare occasion, you do go to the air.
Coach Cole Linehan trying to light a fire with the guys, has them all right there in front of at the 50-yard line and doing their little dance and chant, trying to fire them up here in the second half. Let's see if that does the trick and gets them a jolt, and that's really what Banks needs. They need some sort of a jolt right there, and Coach Linehan getting them all fired up here at the 50-yard line before we take the field and get ready for this second half. We'll see if that gets a spark here in the Braves and gets them going. Not too many times do you see the Braves shut out in a half. This season, they've never been shut out in a half, and I actually have never, maybe aside from last year against Mazama, we talked about it, Trevor, pregame. I think off air, you and I were chatting about it, that this game could we maybe see something, a similar matchup in this game, and so far it's looking like that, but you hope that Banks can fire out of that.
Well, I remember last year, the game against Mazama, they weren't shut out in the first half, but again, a very similar game, low scoring.
Right.
Banks trailed 14-7 in that game last year.
Just was talking about the way the game is going. On Point Community Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the OSAA State Championship. On Point is Oregon's largest locally headquartered credit union, serving more than 495,000 members. Visit onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity. And for over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has remained locally owned and operated, supporting the community and the people and places that matter. That's why Pacific Office Automation continues to sponsor the OSAA year after year. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved. Is the Bank Sprays problem solved, Trevor? We're about ready to find out.
The kick is to Davon Vereen, far side, 15-yard line, 20-25, runs into a blocker, 27-yard line, or 32-yard line and down for the Braves. Decent field position to start their opening drive of the second half. Nice to see Jack light it back in as an up man that time on the kick to open the second half. Four receivers set, trip spread wide to the near side. Lone receiver to the top, I believe, is Bo Wormington. The gift to Cole Crossan, and able to pick a hole and get a little bit of room up past. Should be a gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards to the 38. Now Caden Harris will command more of a fullback type runner. Also might use him as an extra blocker, but he is going to be lined up as an extra running back. No, as the lone back. So Crossan is, it's going to be a direct snap to Cole Crossan off the far side. 40-45 has a first down just past the 45-yard line. It'll be Cole Crossan out of the Wildcat. Direct snap for a first down to the 46.
Well, it was a great job by Ashton again to take that direct snap and just go off the tackle there off the left side and pick up a great yardage. And you know Ashton, he's familiar back there in the backfield. You know, he started the season at quarterback. So.
And Christian is staying on the sideline, at least for the moment, with Ashton Crossan, the starting quarterback to start the season, and now Caden Harris moves to the left, whistles, and a flag on the far side. It looks like a false start or offsides against Santiam Christian.
Going to go against SC. That's a break for the Braves. Didn't see many penalties against Santiam Christian in the first half. Of course, like you said, the two times they went to do it, it seems like they picked up the flag.
I don't think, officially I don't think we saw any penalties from Santiam Christian. The two times they were thrown, they were picked up. Now Christian back in at quarterback as Cole Crossan moves to his left. They're going to fake the give to him. Christian off the far side, midfield, and another flag on the near side, and I think another hold.
Yeah, flag on the far side and on the near side. Basically, I think the officials saw the same thing, which is in the neighborhood of a hold. They're going to talk about it. They're going to get out the zoom camera here pretty soon and put this on Zoom, I think.
Saw Davon Vereen come up from his blocking position on his knees and kind of stick his hands up and try to pull back like, oh, it wasn't me. Oh, it's going to go against the Eagles.
It went on both. It's offsetting.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the
offsetting.
I didn't see the call against Banks.
Far side, face mask under the
okay. Thank you. So they'll replay the down after offsetting penalties. Face mask against Santiam Christian and a hold against the Braves. Looks like Crossan again, or it is Crossan to throw, and Jacko nearly caught, but it's tipped out of bounds. A great play defensively by number 45 for the Eagles, Caden Hagen. And we have an injured player for Banks, and it looks like it may be Ashton Crossan.
Looks to be in the neighborhood of a cramp here in this situation. It is getting really cold here. Bringing in the training staff. Cole Linehan was over him at first, and now it's turned over to the trainers.
So injury timeout to Ashton Crossan. 9:42 to go in the third quarter. Banks still trailing 7-0. Santiam Christian has taken a knee in front of their sideline. So, good sign that Ashton is moving his arms, but grabbing his helmet, maybe in agony. They are taking a look at his left leg or left knee. Now he's going to be helped up. And yeah, he's kind of trying to work out his left leg, like maybe a cramp issue. Doesn't appear to be limping too heavily, just gingerly walking off the field. So hopefully he'll be able to come back in this third quarter. Braves driving. 2nd down and 5 from the Eagles 49. Just the second time the Braves have been in Santiam Christian territory. So Christian Lyda will have to come in at quarterback after the injury to Ashton. Quick pass out, screen pass to Logan Kine. 45, big push up ahead to the 40. It is enough for a first down, maybe down to the 39.
Just spotted on the 40.
First and 10 Banks, no flags on the play. Clock moving under 9.5 minutes, and it feels like we talked about during the halftime show before we had our issues that this feels like a drive that Banks needs to score and tie the game on their opening drive of the second half. Christian rolls right, throws, and it is a little bit too high past Jack Lyda, and would have been more than enough for the first down. Diving grab nearly made inside the 20, but it's 2nd down and 10 from the Eagles 40. Clock stops with 9:06 to go in the third quarter.
Great sportsmanship there by Santiam Christian's number 84 Jacob Tinchik, helping up Jack off the carpet there and give him a little pat on the back. Always great to see those sportsmanship plays. All about the star model here in the OSAA, and that's being a star right there.
Christian Lyda to throw, passes, underthrown, tipped. Oh, incredible grab by Davon Vereen after Logan Kine juggled it. And
that is why you practice the tip drill in practice, because that is exactly what it was, the tip drill. Although, it looks like we got a flag on the play, so we're going to see what that's going to be. Might be talking about if that was like illegal forward pass, maybe, but like
he never had control.
Like a second pass, but it was tipped. But
illegal receiver.
Man downfield. Ineligible man downfield.
The Braves coaching staff is livid about that call, as they should be. It would have been enough for a first down. Cole Linehan sticking his hands out in disagreement, and it's going to be 2nd down and long.
Yeah, he had when the headset comes off of Cole Linehan, and he's he's not happy.
Moves the ball back to the Eagles 45, 8:50. Not sure why the clock is moving, but under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Braves trailing 7-0, 2nd down and 15 after a controversial flag on a bobbled pass that wound up in the arms of Davon Vereen. Christian Leida to throw. And Logan Kine makes the grab down to the 25. Just outleaped the defender, number 14, Neese, and it's 1st and 10 Braves on their biggest offensive play of the game, down to the Eagles' 25.
Well, and that's what you do right there when you know official makes a bad play or a questionable call out there. You just go and you just proverbially, figuratively slap the official in the face by going out and throwing it to your best receiver and sticking it for a big first down.
4 receiver set. Braves want to go quickly, and the give to Caden Harris off the far side. Has a hole, 20. Down inside the 17, close to another first down.
And that is the first of very few times that we've seen Caden Harris on the ball. Maybe he did early on in the game, but I don't think so.
It's his first carry.
And that's, they need to get the ball into the hands of Caden Harris. I remember when he came onto the scene this season, he really came on the scene, exploded on the scene, and that's what they've been missing in this first half. And let's see if they can get Logan Kine more involved, get Caden Harris more involved.
Their deepest drive into Eagles territory comes early in the third quarter. 7.5 minutes left in the third on the opening drive of the second half. Pass to Logan Kine out of the backfield, inside the 5, 1st and goal.
And if it wouldn't have been, he was kind of spinning around. He kind of lost his balance on the spin around. If he wouldn't have lost his balance, Logan Kine would have been in the end zone. There was no way, no how that Santiam Christian was going to stop him from getting in the end zone. They cannot stop Logan Kine when he's on his balance. That's just not going to happen.
1st and goal from the 3. Clock moving, nearing 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Banks looking to tie against Santiam Christian early in the second half. Caden Harris, the lone back, with Crossan out lined up out in the quarterback position. The give to Caden Harris. He's going to walk in. Touchdown, Banks. Caden Harris on his second touchdown of the game puts the Braves within 1 after a 3-yard touchdown run with 6:50 to go in the third quarter.
2 carries of the game for Caden Harris, and he gets in on the second one for the touchdown, and we are an extra point away from having a brand new ball game. And you got to feel like that is, like you said, we talked about, that is an important touchdown to make right there, because now we get the PAT, we get an even brand new ball game. Braves have all the momentum right now.
Snap is down, kick is up and good. 6:50 to go in the third quarter. We're now tied at 7, back to a 0-0 ball game with 6:50 to go in the third. It's Santiam Christian 7, Banks 7, each team scoring on the ground. We'll be back after this 30-second break from Scoggins Creek Coffee.
Scoggins Creek Coffee is proud to offer delicious hot drinks and delectable breakfast items too. Visit their 2 locations in Gaston and Yamhill Carlton. Open 7 days a week, Mondays through Saturdays until 5 and Sundays until 3. Make sure to ask about their weekly specials and visit their Facebook page, Scoggins Creek Coffee, 503-985-3483.
And we're back tied at 7, 6:50 to go in the third quarter. The 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A football quarterfinals. I'm Trevor Beard, voice of Westside Mobile Media. Joining me is Jonathan Lee. Jaden Christie scoring from 2 yards out on the opening drive for the Eagles. Caden Harris, Banks kind of backup, not really backup, but kind of a different style running back than Ashton Cross and more of a smaller speed back. Harris, more of a fullback type, gets the touchdown for Banks from 3 yards out on the opening drive of the second half as Neese slips down at the 25 on the touchdown return for the Eagles. 6:45 to go in the third quarter.
Slipped down with some assistance. Lane Gilbert was all there, Johnny, on the spot. This Banks team is playing at a different level right now here in the second half. They're playing at a level we did not see them play in the first half, and that is not good news for these Santiam Christian Eagles. Banks has all the momentum right now. They're playing on fire. They're fired up. They're keeping the guys jacked up on the sidelines, and we'll see what happens here as they take the field on defense.
Melchow is going to fake the give and spins.
Stood up.
He's going to get about only 2 or 3 yards. Initially looked like it was going to be a lot more than that as a hole opened up. But once the hole opened up, it closed quickly, and it's only going to be a gain of about 2 or 3. Actually, they're going to give him almost 4 yards.
That's a generous spot at best.
All the way up close to the 24, or the 29.
Very generous spot. Christmas comes early here in Hillsboro.
Second time in the second half the Eagles have gotten a favorable call when you go back to that tipped pass that they called back for an ineligible receiver. And again, this time they give to Nice, and not much. Gets maybe past the 30. It'll be third down, and another big third down play coming for the Banks defense. The market at the 31, 3rd and 4. Need to get to the 35. 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, tied at 7.
The tribe below us trying to fire up the defense.
And again to pass. Passes over the head of number 80, Van Volkenberg. Had a man there, but looked like a great job by the secondary. Was overthrown of everybody, but nice job by the Banks secondary. Now Jack Lyda is going to be the lone man back, standing about his own 38-yard line, hoping for a decent return.
Justin Webb was right there on the coverage, right there in the middle. He made the jump for it, but he would have overthrown him. Otherwise, he was the only one that really had a chance to get it.
5:11 left. High snap, nearly blocked, and Lyda is going to let it bounce, and it's going to kick back upfield towards the 30. And Banks will have the football 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line with 5:03 to go in the third quarter after, I think, Jonathan, that was their first stop of Santiam Christian in this game.
No, they forced him to a punt in the first half, and they also, Santiam Christian turned it over on downs twice. But I was going to say, the ball was picked up there. This is actually a win here for Banks because they start in better field position than they could have. Santiam Christian actually, in a mental error, picked the ball up too soon. They should have let it bounce a little bit and go back. That ball was, it didn't die.
Caden Harris, the lone back. Pass is caught coming across the middle by Logan Kine, but it's going to be a short gain of only about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, when you got a team like this, like Banks right now, who's on fire, and you want to try and pin them back as far back as you can. And that ball was far from dying. It was still bouncing and rolling. And Santiam Christian picked that ball up a little bit early. We'll see if Banks can make them pay for that.
Actually, a gain of 3. Banks quickly goes no huddle. Tight formation. Again, the give to Caden Harris. Has some room off the far side. 40, 45, breaks the tackle midfield. Finally pushed out of bounds close to the 45 into Eagle territory. Another big run for Caden Harris and a Braves first down.
Well, just a great piece of running by Caden Harris and some great blocking along the way as the guys were, holding their blocks, and Caden saw them running around them, picks up a huge chunk of yardage, and it doesn't take much room for Caden Harris to get up, and we got a Brave that's
Max
down
Walker.
again. Yeah, that's somebody you definitely don't want to see, and he's not gonna. He's at least sitting up, but he's not. He's just sitting there.
One of his, he's grabbing both his knees, but now he's going to go back down. Again, looks like a cramp to the right leg. 1st and 10 Braves from the Eagles 48. Braves taking the opening drive of the second half all the way in to tie the game on a 3-yard Caden Harris touchdown run. Max Walker, just a cramp, is going to be able to walk off under his own power. Cole Linehan having a good laugh with the officials about something on the field.
Might be telling them about, might be chatting about tomorrow's game. The big rivalry game at Autzen Stadium tomorrow, Ducks and Huskies.
First and 10 Braves from the Santiam Christian 48. 4:18 to go in the third quarter. 4-receiver set with Wormington and Jack Lyda to the near side. Now Logan Kine lined up as a blocker, and Caden Harris gets to the 45, and a late flag.
That's thrown right in a stack of Santiam Christian players.
Indication is against the Eagles.
Eagles.
4:08 to go, and we have a personal foul penalty against Santiam Christian. Is going to put the ball at the Braves' 30-yard line.
Yeah, they're just not holding their composure very well here at all. But making mistakes here. We've seen them, it's their second penalty, the second half. They down here, they caught the ball way too early when they should have let the ball roll and could have pinned them deep. And now with the personal foul, it's like that's their second mental error of the game, and that drives the coach crazy.
4 minutes left, tied at 7. First and 10 Banks from the Eagles 29. Man in motion left to right is Lyda. Now goes back the opposite side. Christian Lyda is going to keep 30, 20, close to the 25. And for Christian, not a running quarterback, that's a positive play.
Yeah, that's just, taking what's in front of you, taking what the defense gives you. He was dropping back. He didn't see anybody open, but he saw a nice little crease, enough of a crease that he can get through there and squeeze through and at least get some positive yardage out of it.
A gain of 3 to the 26. Again, we talked about field goals in the pregame, and this is getting close to Cole Crossan territory if the Braves are unable to pick up a first down.
That's why you're fortunate to have a guy like Cole Crossan.
Caden Harris, the lone back. Christian Lyda able to avoid one tackler, spins out of another, and can he get to the outside? Nearly a horse collar. He will get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. No, Braves coaching staff wanting a flag on the play. Looked like nearly a horse collar, and Christian's grabbing his right shoulder pad, trying to readjust his uniform. They're going to mark the ball back to the 29, so it'll be 31, so it'll be, it will be the 29. So it'll be a loss of 3, and it'll be third down and about 10. Clock nearing 2 minutes. The give to Caden Harris, and he's going to lose back close to the 35, and that will take away any notion of Cole Cross, and it's going to be 4th and long. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Banks go for it here because it's too short a field really to punt. Fourth down and long from the Eagles 34, 4th and 15. Braves are going to go for it. Offense is staying on the field. 1:38 to go in the third quarter, tied at 7. Christian Lyda with Caden Harris to his left, type formation, 3-receiver set. Now is going to drop back, and Christian Lyda, short kick, and is going to be go out of bounds at about the 15.
Second punt inside the 20 tonight for the Braves.
1:24 left in the third quarter. Banks with momentum to start the second half, but a little bit of it slipping away that time with the big loss of yardage on the sack to Christian Lyda on what looked like could have been a horse collar. First and 10, Santiam Christian from their own 15. Again, the winner of this game will face either Kennedy or Vail next week in the semifinals.
Approaching 1:24 to go here in the third quarter.
And a flag, maybe a false start on Santiam Christian. Christie is tripped up for a loss of yards, and he's slow to get up. I think just Maddie lost yards on the play.
It's going to be against Santiam Christian. Didn't really see what they called. They were kind of, they went like incomplete, and then it's going to be declined. But it went against Santiam Christian.
Well, it seemed with the tempo of the snap that maybe a false start.
He's going to go ahead and take the down since it's going to be second down.
Well, they lost yards on the play, so.
Yeah. And the down.
Second down and 12 from the 13. Malchow, a give to Christie, and he gets up close to the 20. It'll be third down and about 5. Third down and 5 from the Eagles' 20, under a minute left in the third quarter, tied at 7. Malchow with the Eagles offense to the line, one receiver each side. Christie the lone back, and he's not going to get it. Maybe a yard. It'll be fourth down, and again, the Braves are going to get the ball back. Likely, though, to start the fourth quarter as clock moving, nearing 20 seconds.
Well, you take a little things. Braves won the third quarter that time, 7-0, so.
And the Eagles are not going to break their huddle before the start of the fourth quarter. After 3, it's Banks 7, Santiam Christian 7. We'll be back after this 30-second break from Specialty Screen Printing.
Specialty Screen Printing in Yamhill offers your business the creativity and expertise to print your logo on a variety of items. Owners Ken and Linda Johnson have 40 years of experience on industrial parts and every type of material, including ceramic tile. Their fast service can have your project done in less than a week. Visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com, to see for yourself how they can help you boost your company's marketing and industrial screen printing needs. Call 971-998-9274 or visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com.
And we're back, start of the fourth quarter. Banks and Santiam Christian tied at 7. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 2022 3A State Football Quarterfinals. I'm Trevor Beard, voice of Westside Mobile Media, alongside color analyst Jonathan Lee. Rain has let up for most of this game since a wet start to the game. You can hear news, weather, and sports updates on westsidesgreatesthits.net for Portland's West Side. And, a horrible kick, and it's going to be go out of bounds all the way up at the Eagles' 45. A great break from the Banks Braves, but I think they may have partially gotten part of that football.
Yeah, it was. I was going to say, I believe that was partially blocked because I could see it changed the trajectory of the ball. Well, before this play, real quickly, I want to remind you about Toyota. Dear style, efficiency, and performance. Glad we're on the same team this season and every season. Let's keep huddling up and going for it. Toyota, let's go places.
Braves going places in the second half. One place in particular, the end zone. Jack Lyda going in motion left to right. Low snap. Lyda, quick pass out. They're going to say the ball hit the ground. He had a knee down when he picked up the football, so it's going to be a big loss of yards for the Braves all the way back to the Eagles, or to the Braves 49, a loss of 6. Definitely not what they needed on the opening drive of the fourth quarter with momentum in their side. Three receivers set to the far side with Harris the lone back. Lyda looks to throw, has a man caught. Max Walker gets a big chunk of yards back up close to the 40. It'll be second down and about 6, a gain of about 10 on the pass play.
Well, that's a great job by Lyda to get rid of the football and stay with it, stay looking at his receiver as he had a defender coming right at his face. As soon as he let go of the ball, he was taken right down on the ground. A great defensive pursuit that time by the Eagles.
Second down and 7 from the 42. Need to get to the Eagles 35 to pick up a first down. Clock nearing 10.5 minutes left, tied at 7. Two receivers each way. Kind and Jack Lyda to the near side. With Harris the lone back, Christian moves out of the pocket, passes too high through the hands of Logan Kind. Would have been enough for a first down close to the 30.
Yeah, he kind of, again, got some more pressure that time from the defense, and so he kind of had to make some adjustments to his left there a little bit and just kind of off balance and just kind of sailed that one a little bit on Logan. The Braves going to have to punt again for the third time here tonight.
Low snap. Crossan does get the punt away. And it's going to take an incredible roll and go out of bounds all the way down near the Eagles' 10.
Third punt inside the 20 tonight for the Braves, and that's their fourth punt, third actual punt. They had the quick kick on the last possession.
They're going to mark it just outside the 10 at the 11, still tied at 7. Banks has their closest win this year has been by 8 points. All other games they've won by at least 2 scores. And Jonathan, anytime you're a fan of a team, you want to see your team win, but as a broadcaster, blowouts really aren't a whole lot of fun. We've definitely seen a lot of drama tonight.
No, these kind of games right here are the ones that you live for. And that's you get into the quarterfinals, these are what you should have.
And the give to Christie off the end, and able to break a tackle and gets a gain of maybe about 5 to the 16.
Well, it just great help that time by the Banks Braves defense coming up. It seemed like just one defender after another coming up to make the play. They saw that he didn't do it initially, and then all right, I'll come in and help out. And it's just like everybody, that's how a team works. Everybody helping each other out, and we got I believe it's Christie on the field.
It is Christie's 32. Christie's walking off the field. Is it Ness or Nice? Okay. So injury timeout to Mr. Ness for the Eagles. Caleb Ness, one of their leading wide receivers. Exactly 10 minutes to go in the game, tied at 7. Jaden Christie with a 2-yard touchdown run on the opening drive for the Eagles that took 6 minutes, 13 seconds. Banks was able to tie it on the opening drive of the third quarter on a 3-yard touchdown run from Caden Harris. Weather not really a factor tonight in the passing game either, just neither team able to score through the air. And he's going to be helped up, and again appears to be walking okay, headed towards the opposite sideline. Maybe just another cramping issue for Caleb Ness. Second down and 5 for the Eagles from the Santiam Christian 16. Man in motion for Santiam Christian, and nice job that time by Jack Lyda to take out Christie at the knees up to about the 22, but it will be enough for An Eagles first down. You kind of get the feeling here, Jonathan, that with the clock less than 10 minutes left, that Santiam Christian may want to just keep the ball on the ground with the prolific running of Christie, the same way they did on the opening drive, and they're able to take 6-7 minutes off the clock and take the lead again like they did on the opening drive. That's going to be tough for Banks to come back from. And again, right up the middle, it's Christie up past the 30 to the 32. I think it's going to be a yard short. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Nope, they're moving it.
Okay. The down marker still reads 2. That's why Okay, now.
Well, the down marker, they cannot move. They cannot change the marker until the official actually tells them to do that, and the official had not told them yet.
Under 9 minutes left, tied at 7. Christie and the Eagles offense moving the football again, and this time Melshow off the far side, and he may score. Finally brought down at about the 30, out of bounds on the Eagles bench.
Well, it's just a little RPO that time, and it just, he showed like he was going to put it to the running back that time, and just the last second pulled it out and ran the other way after all the Braves defenders bit on the fake there, and he just went the other way where there was no Braves defenders.
1st and 10, all the way down to the Braves 30.
RPO, of course, run pass option for those that not aware.
8:34 to go in the game, tied at 7. Melshow with Christie, the lone back. Man in motion for the Eagles. Christie is going to be brought down all the way back. A loss of about 3, back to the 33, 2nd down and 13. Again, another favorable spot. Looks like 2 yards ahead of where the tackle was made. Maybe forward progress, but definitely don't agree with the spot. 2nd down and only 11. Eight minutes left in the contest. Tied at 7. 2nd down and 11 for the Santiam Christian Eagles from the Braves 31.
Braves really need to bear down here on defense.
Melshow fakes the give. The pass is overthrown. Intended for number 4, Camden Carley. Nice coverage that time by Jack Lyda. Will bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Jack Lyda had the step on the receiver down there. He actually was the closest one to the ball, but that was even thrown away from Lyda.
Clock stops on the incompletion. 7:45 left, tied at 7. 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A State Football Quarterfinals. Number 5 seed Santiam Christian of Adair Village, and number 4 Banks Braves. Again, man in motion for Santiam Christian. Melshow tries the dump off and could have been intercepted. It's going to be 4th and long, and this is a huge play because I'm sure Santiam Christian is going to go for it despite 4th and long. As
Braves were bringing the heat that time. Davon Breen was back there, as was Diesel. They were bringing the Diesel heat that time with Diesel, Shogi, and Davon Breen coming back after the quarterback.
Yeah, as I thought, timeout Santiam Christian to decide whether or not they want to try to pin Banks deep or go for it and try to take a 1-score lead with 7:41 left. We'll take a 30-second break and return after this from GorgeNet Internet Service Provider.
There's a new premier fiber internet provider in Vernonia featuring friendly and helpful customer service. Sign up with Gorge Networks today for symmetrical speed fiber internet, 300 meg or 1 gig speeds with managed Wi-Fi included in the low monthly price. No contracts or price increases. Refer a friend and get a free month of service. Make the switch to Gorge Networks today. Call 541-436-0223. You can also email us at sales@gorge.net.
And we're back following the Santiam Christian timeout, 4th and 11. And it appears the Eagles will go for it. No one back in punt coverage for Banks. Short field. Man in motion for Melchow is going to keep it right up the middle. And it's going to be close. Banks is saying it's short.
Well, judging by where, the Principals are moving the marker up, but yeah, he's not going to get it.
Short by about 2 yards. 1st and 10 Banks with 7:36 left. And if Banks could get anything going in the running game, now would be the time. And try to keep Santiam Christian with a short clock on the other side.
Well, what was working for them on that first possession of the second half was Logan Kind and Caden Harris. So we'll see if they can get them the ball somewhere.
Twins each side. Jack Lyda in motion. Now goes back to the right. High snap. Pass caught by Logan Kind out of the backfield. Makes a man miss. 30, 35, 40. Got to hold on to the football all the way up to the 45. And a nice set of nifty moves by Logan Kind, but trying to rip the ball away from defenders and could have caused a fumble. Would have been the first turnover of the game.
Well, right on cue, as I talked about, it was Logan Kind and Caden Harris getting the ball, and that time they go right to Logan Kind, the speediest guy on the field, arguably, and makes a nice big play. And you're right, ball security is at a premium right now. Make the play, but keep ball security.
1st and 10 all the way up to the 44. Again, quick pass out, Logan Kind, and able to break an ankle tackle. Gets out of bounds right at midfield. A good gain of 6 on 1st down. 2nd down and 4, stops the clock exactly, 7 minutes left.
Yeah, well, those shoestring tackles are not going to work in mini leagues, but definitely not against a guy like Logan Kind. He's going to get out of those every time. Fortunately, he was so close to the sidelines, he didn't really have a whole lot of room.
Second down and 4 from midfield for the Braves offense. Stagnant in the first half and finally able to get something going in the second half, but is it enough? And the give to Cole Crossan on the fake pass out, and a 1st down close to the 40. Stops the clock with 6:51 left.
Well, Ashley Crossan again doing a great job following the blockers. They were all loading up on the left side, and Ashton made a great little cut back to the right side. Saw that little daylight and just enough daylight to get the ball through and get the ball into Eagle territory.
Clock moving, nearing 6.5 minutes. Braves on the move, looking to take the lead for the first time. The give to Cole Crossan, able to break out of a couple shirt tackles inside the 35, spins down to the 33. Another good gain of close to 7 on 1st down. Oh, Ashton Crossan on the carry that time. Always confuse those two, Ashton and Cole. Ashton, the running back, Cole, the kicker.
Which Goebel is it?
Pass quick out, Logan Kind makes a man miss, breaks a tackle, out of bounds inside the 15 for another Braves 1st down.
Another great, another more yak play for Logan Kind, but he just ran out of real estate. He didn't really have much room to get the yak, but it's a great separate and get those yards after catch for Logan Kind and move the football a little closer, inching closer and closer to the end zone.
Actually, 1st and 10 inside the 25, looks like the 24. High snap, bobbled. Christian able to get something out of it, though, and get inside the 20 to about the 18, a gain of about 6.
And now Banks is kind of reversing fortunes on Santiam Christian now, as they're the ones being the aggressor. They're chewing up the clock here, taking it down there, and as long as they keep doing it, if they can punch this in, it's really going to put Santiam Christian behind the 8 ball. They have little time to drive the length of the field.
Under 5.5 minutes left. Braves in the red zone tied at 7 from the 19. Pitch out, Caden Harris far side, and it's going to be tripped up. Lose a yard back to the 20, maybe the 21.
Yeah, that wasn't really a very good clean exchange that time between Lyda and Harris that time. As Harris was still trying to secure it in as he was trying to at the same time get away from the defense.
2nd down and 12 from the 21. Actually, it's 3rd down and 7 from the 21. Christian Lyda, quick pass out. Logan Cobb makes a man miss. Brought down close to the 1st down marker. I think he's going to be about 2 yards short. And the Braves are going to have a decision. Fourth and 3. Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. Christian Lyda is going to go back out there.
4 minutes and counting to go.
Whistles and a timeout. I thought we may see them just try to work the clock all the way down and then take a timeout. We may see Cole Crossan.
First timeout of the half for Banks.
We'll go ahead and keep things here. I think game in a tight spot with 3:45 left. Still tied at 7, but Banks with 4th and 3. Cole Crossan can boot it through from here, but does Banks, their offense has a little bit of momentum, and they may choose to keep the offense on the field after all. But if they don't pick up the 1st down, you give the ball back to Santiam Christian, and they're likely going to try to run out the clock and go for a we saw what they could do on the opening drive, 6 minutes and 13 seconds. They don't want to give the ball back to Santiam Christian either.
But they don't have 6 minutes and 31 seconds this time to do that.
And Cole Crossan's going to come on.
Kick it from the 30.
Will be a 35-yarder. Ball will be spotted at the 25 for the kick. High snap, kick is down, and it is good. Cole Crossan has given the Braves a 10-7 lead with 3:39 left, but the defense has got to stop Christie and the Eagles offense one more time.
And I told you that is, we talked about could Cole Crossan come down to that, and as I was saying, that's an advantage that Banks has over a lot of the teams in the 3A. There's not many 3A teams that have just a kicker punter. They might be listed as like a linebacker, and they do kickoffs and they do field goals, but that's not Cole Crossan. He is just a kicker and punter. That's what he practices on, what he works on. He doesn't work on anything else, just kicking, and that can be an asset. And we've talked about it many times this season too.
Early on, the opening drive of the game, it looked like Banks wasn't going to have a lot of opportunities offensively. They haven't, but now it's going to come down to the defense with 3:39 left. Santiam Christian is likely going to keep the ball in the hands of Jaden Christie. (2022) OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A State Football Quarterfinals. Number 4 Banks with a 10-7 lead over number 5 Santiam Christian after a 35-yard field goal moments ago from Cole Crossan to give the Braves their first lead of the game.
Also, not many schools in this classification have just a kicker's coach.
And it's going to be Ness at about the 10-yard line, and penalty on the play. This likely a hold. Will come back. Ness gets all out of bounds all the way up to the 43-yard line of the Braves. Flag thrown at about the 34-yard line against
Santiam Christian. Back him up. They're going to mark them back from the 35.
So it should be 1st and 10 from the 25.
That screaming you hear from below is from the tribe, the Banks Braves Nation.
3.5 minutes left. Can the Braves stop Santiam Christian one more time?
Braves coaches and players egging on the tribe. They telling them to throw down the noise, get behind their team.
No turnovers in this game. Melshow sends a man in motion right to left, and off the far side is going to be stopped shy of the 20-yard line. Look like Camden Carley on the carry. Should be a gain of about 4, 2nd down and 6. Out of bounds, plate stops the clock, 3:22 left.
Great block on the outside that time by number 80 for Santiam Christian, which actually sprung the running back to get that yardage out there. Totally legal too. It was just a great block. Great job of blocking.
3:22 left. Eagles come to the line. 2nd and 6 from the 29. Christie out of the backfield, gets a big push late. He's going to be about a yard short, I think.
Well, Davon Perrine was right there to wrap him up and send him to the turf and said, hey, you know, this green turf here, it feels pretty good. Let me introduce you to it.
3rd down and 2, likely 2-down territory for the Eagles. Clock is now under 3 minutes.
Looks like they need like a couple of yards here. Need to get to the 35-yard line.
3rd down and 2 for Melshow, and the give to Christie as the 1st down, all the way up to the 40. That'll stop the clock with 2:41 left.
Stop the clock until they get the chain set, and then as soon as they get the chain set, it's going to roll.
Two and a half minutes left. 10-7 Braves lead.
Now's the time if you're the Braves. You need to bend but don't break.
This time Melshow's going to keep it and has another 1st down into Braves territory.
Jack Letta made a great stop, sending him over his shoulder. They got the 1st down, but Jack Letta didn't let him get no more, and he was right there. He was ready. He was waiting for him, and you know, Jack is a cornerback, but he kind of plays like that safety a little bit, the last line of defense, and stop that. He did his job right there, but the Braves got to dig in right here. Now the ball's on your side of the field. You don't want to let him get behind you anymore.
Under 2 minutes left. Santiam Christian driving, trailing 10-7. Melshow the pass. Van Valkenburg the catch, and a late flag and a late hit likely coming against Max Walker. Stops the clock, 1:49 left. He hit him up in the chest as he was sliding to make the grab.
Yeah, that would be surprising because it really wasn't a late hit. He did it, it was momentum, but I bet you they...
Personal foul, hit to the head.
Yeah. That's... I got to side with the tribe there. That's a bad call. That's a bad call. That's not a call you make.
10-7, under 2 minutes left, 1:49, 1st and 10.
Let me just see. I've seen a lot worse. A lot worse has out there. That's nothing. I've seen a lot worse.
1st and 10, clock moving under 2 minutes. The give to Christie off the far side, breaks a shoestring tackle. Another 1st down inside the 10. 1:35 left.
Didn't see anything there that was even close to being dangerous at all. I've seen a lot worse. Trust me. That was nothing.
Second down and 4 from the 8. 1:15 left. Braves defense needs to make a goal line stand. Man in motion. Van Melshow dives, has a first down to the 1. They may just let him score here. 1:04 left. And a whistles and a timeout. Timeout Banks, 1:04 left. Santiam Christian trailing 10-7, but will have the ball first and goal from the 1. What do you do if you're Banks defense in this situation? Do you let them score on the first drive and try to hope you have enough time left on the other side, or do you want to try to stick it out for 4 downs and
Step it up, but you can do a goal line stand. You don't at this level, you don't ever, there's no such thing as let them try to score. That would be just giving up.
Well, yeah, but you look at the clock, though. There's 64 seconds left in the game.
And
if it takes them 4 downs to score, it's game over.
There's no guarantee to, you don't let somebody in. There's no guarantee you're going to go down in not much time. You just stiffen up.
Melshow, give to Christie. He's not going to get there. He may lose a couple yards. Timeout Banks. 56 seconds left. He'll lose a yard back to the 2. Again, this is the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a 3A state football championship quarterfinals. Feels like 4A after last year's game against Mazama. Similar situation. Both teams 4 versus 5.
Yeah, this situation, when you're down on the 2-yard line, you don't have much real estate to work with. So it's like if you're Banks, you just, make sure you load up the box, cover those gaps. Don't let them get through those gaps like they did in the first quarter or like they did here. You got to plug those gaps. It's really stiffen up right now.
56 seconds left. They give to Christie. I don't think
they
so.
They turned them back.
It's 3rd down. Ball just inside the 1. And here's your ball game.
Got about one more play right here. The clock is, Banks is out of timeouts, so it's 30 seconds and counting. And Santiam Christian's going to use a timeout.
So if Eagles are unable to get in on 3rd down, they want to save themselves time for possibly one more play. 29 seconds left. Banks 10. Santiam Christian 7. Ball inside the 1. Eagles driving. We'll keep things here until we head to the post game.
Banks, you definitely want your 11 strongest guys out there.
And here we go. Santiam Christian coming to the line. Banks slow to come out of the huddle. .29 seconds left. Melshow with Christie. Twins each side for the Eagles. Man in motion. And off the far side, the flag on the play with 24 seconds left, possibly a hold.
Banks jumping up and down. They think it's going to be against Santiam Christian.
I think that's the indication.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Yep. They're going to mark it up against the Eagles.
Holding against Santiam. Christian will move the ball back to the 15, 23 seconds left.
Eagles.
Final play of the game. No drama all year, and our first drama of any kind comes on the final play of the game of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A State Football quarterfinals.
But now Santiam Christian has room to operate, and it seems like they've been dangerous in these situations.
Timeout.
With the room, and they're going to talk about it. They might as well. They've got 2 timeouts, and you're not going to be able to take it down with you, so might as well use it.
Well, the Eagles will have 2 downs. I forgot, Banks accepted the penalty, so that kept it at 3rd down. Ball back to the 15, though, with 23 seconds left.
And actually, that was their last timeout, so both teams are out of timeouts now.
Purchase your official state championship merchandise at OSAAstore.com with Rush Team Apparel, the exclusive merchandise partner of the OSAA. You have more options. Customize your gear with your school name, a student-athlete name, event decals, and more. Nike products are also available. Browse the selection of official state championship merchandise at OSAAstore.com. Both teams come out of the huddle. Banks needs 1, maybe 2 more stops. 23 seconds left. Likely the final play of the game. Both teams actually out of timeouts. I forgot you just mentioned that, Jonathan. The final play of the game for the Eagles from their own 15. They're going to try a halfback pass. It's intercepted! The Braves have won the game! And on an incredible goal line stand, it's Max Walker with the interception, and the Eagles walk off the field dejected after having 1st and goal from the 1 with less than a minute left.
Well, you know, I knew that when they were in that kind of situation that we're about ready to see some sort of trickeration, and anything that usually happens when somebody else throws it that's not used to throwing it, or we haven't seen it all game, something bad is going to happen to that. And unfortunately for Banks, they made a play on defense. Max Walker, a great play. He's been there all week, all year for them, making play after play.
And that was the only turnover of the game.
Yeah, it's been a clean game from there, and well, unless, you know, you got turnover on downs. But
well, 14 seconds left, so there is still a little bit of time, but just make sure you hold on to the football. They'll just take a knee.
They'll take a knee, yeah. They won't do anything with it. They're not going to get cute.
Just an incredible game, start to finish. Not a lot of scoring. Christian Lida takes a knee, and that'll do it.
That's it.
Final score, Banks holds on in the final 3.5 minutes. They bent, but they didn't break, taking a line from Gangrene and Cole Linehan's Oregon Ducks, able to stop the Eagles inside the 1 with less than a minute left, and then getting a interception from Max Walker on a halfback pass.
And love to see the sportsmanship down there right after the game. You know, the hugs, the embraces down there from both teams, and Santiam Christian and Banks, just a really a nice display right there. I love the sportsmanship. That's great. It's a hard-fought ball game. It's a quarterfinal. Banks is on to the semis, but great to see the sportsmanship down there, and still some embrace down here between a couple of players. You know, one of them, Christie, the running back, and then of course for Banks, can't see the number down there, but great display of sportsmanship. In fact, they're walking to the team. To join their teams, hugging. Great display. It was, let's see, that's Luke Bigsby and Christie, who were in that embrace down there. Great to see the sportsmanship. Love that. I'll talk all night about that.
So we'll take a 1-minute break. Got to get some OSAA housekeeping duties taken care of. But Banks coaching staff, Cole Linehan, Dusty Hara, Steve Lida, smiles all the way around, hugging each other in a 10-7 victory. Banks holds on. We'll be back in 1 minute with the post game after this from On Point.
What's stopping you From going to school and learning new things, or buying an old car to make it new again. Do you dream about building a business, exploring new places, or even buying your very first home? Whatever you're trying to do, On Point Community Credit Union can help you do it. With low-interest loans, credit cards, business banking, and more. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Difference in the game, the 35-yard field goal like we talked about early in the season where it may come down to a Cole Crossan field goal.
Yep.
Talk about that in the post game.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
And we're back. Banks Braves post-game show on Westside Mobile Media. It is a happy one as our first drama of the season comes in the quarterfinals. Banks trailing 7-0 most of the night until early in the third quarter gets a, well, go back and look at the scoring drive. Santiam Christian scored first on the opening drive, took 6 minutes and 13 seconds on a, capping it on a 2-yard run from Jaden Christie to go up 7-0, which is where the score stayed until early in the third quarter on the opening drive of the second half. Banks won the opening toss and deferred. It was Caden Harris scoring from 3 yards out, and then the two teams stayed tied until Colt Crossan connected from 35 yards out. We talked earlier in the season, Jonathan, about how it may come down to a Colt Crossan field goal one of these games. Santiam Christian got the ball back with about 3.5 minutes left. Looked like they were in great position to take the lead late. And then Braves stiffened up inside the 1. And then a holding penalty against Santiam Christian moved the ball back to the Eagles' 15 with 23 seconds left. And then in all the excitement, I caught, I don't know if it was Christie, but I kind of didn't catch the number of the Eagle trying to make the pass. But a halfback, who?
It was number 4.
Okay. Number 4 for the Eagles attempting the halfback pass, Camden Carley. And pass was intercepted by Max Walker to seal the win for the Braves inside the 20 with 14 seconds left. Braves took a knee and held on for the 10-7 win. And either Kennedy or Vail for the Braves next week, Jonathan. Talk about this game.
Well, you know, and you mentioned right there, Kennedy, and I was just thinking about that as we were coming back from the break, is that what an interesting thing. I mean, obviously, Kennedy and Vail haven't played yet. Vail Vikings are a very, very good team, so I'm not going to, say, but it could set up next week in the semis a matchup of two teams, both who are the only two teams in the state to beat that Santiam Christian team. So it's a very interesting situation, but we can't get there yet because Kennedy still has to play Vail tomorrow. But what a great game tonight. Great effort by Santiam Christian. They brought, they now give Banks a lot of tape to look at going into this week because I really believe they showed some things here tonight that Banks really hasn't seen, and maybe even showed some, maybe even exploited some weaknesses maybe in Banks' defense a little bit as well. So they give them a lot of film to go in this week, digest. The coaches will look at it, tonight and tomorrow, and then they'll start right to work probably Sunday with the team in a film session, and we'll look at that and digest that and seeing how we can improve and get better, because each game you play from here on out is just going to get much more amplified, much more intense, and a tougher opponent. I mean, obviously, you're going to play Kennedy or Vail. That's two teams that, they both a few years ago were in the 2A. Kennedy last year was in the 2A. They jumped up like Banks moved down. Kennedy jumped up. And so you've got a couple of state champions right there that could be playing, and Vail has won some 2A state championships as well, and even at top in the 3A as well. So, competition's going to increase, and so you're going to take games like this to look at, hey, what do they do to us that we can, fix those holes and fix those gaps. And number one, I thought it's just a great job, once again, by Coach Linehan and his coaching staff, Steve Latta, defensive coordinator, to talk about it at halftime and say, hey, what can we do to get better? What adjustments can we make? It's just a great job, great time to make those adjustments. And, yeah, they gave up some yardage still to Santiam Christian in the second half, but the key thing, they bent, but they didn't break.
Well, I want to get to one more thing before we sign off. Didn't get a chance to quite get all of our rotation in, but our Oregon Army National Guard hero of the game, Max Walker, with that interception on the halfback pass with 14 seconds left that sealed it.
Without a doubt. Max just stepped up, and, Santiam Christian trying to do anything. You can't fault them. They're trying to win a football game as well and just trying to make it in there, but Max stepped right there to pick it off, and not just his only good play. I mean, Max had several good plays tonight. He had some key tackles out there as well. He had some, I think, some deflections as well out there, and he's just a great kid, great player, great choice. He is Banks' hero tonight.
So that will do it for us. We'll keep you updated on social media tomorrow once we get you the final score of that Kennedy-Vail game. For Westside Mobile Media, it will be our final broadcast of the season for football due to OSAA contractual obligations. May be asked to do some things with Sportscasting Unlimited, depending on who the opponent is for Banks next weekend. If it's Kennedy, that game could be played in McMinnville, possibly Silverton High School. If it's Vail, that game likely will be held in either Bend or the Dalles. Anything you want to add, Jonathan, before we sign off?
Just a great game, Banks, they're moving on, and, I don't know. It's I just love the, again, we'll talk about the sportsmanship. I said I could talk about that all night, and love to see that immediately, and a lot of that is Santiam Christian, because that's how they are. They're very good, sportsmanship, and that's the, I was fortunate to, before we met, started working together here with this venture, I worked with Westside Christian in Tigard and Horizon Christian in Tualatin, and it's just, that's the culture of the Christian school. That's what I love about that, is that, the prayer before the games that they do, and then, of course, the sportsmanship, and that's, same way with Santiam Christian as well. Fierce, very fierce competitors during the game, as everybody is, but, at the end of the day, it's not just about game. There's much bigger things than ball, and love that sportsmanship aspect.
Well, that'll...
And it's by both, too. Banks also showed it as well. One of the things that makes this program really great is they respect you. They're going to come after you, sure, and fight and compete, but they're going to respect the heck out of you as well.
Well, that'll do it for us. Cole Crossan with a 35-yard game winner with 3.5 minutes left for a 10-7 victory for Banks. Max Walker seals it with an interception of a halfback pass with 14 seconds left. 10-7 your final score. Number 4 Banks holds on against number 5 Santiam Christian. Kennedy or Vail next week. We'll keep you updated on social media. For Jonathan Lee, I'm Trevor Beard. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night, and God bless.
Go Beavs. Go Beavs.
And go Beavs.